Hello everyone, Nicole here. It is a week in November, I will say. And if you've been keeping up with my feed on YouTube, you'll know that I take a week off just to enjoy life. And I will say that I feel refreshed. It is a wonderful autumn day, and we're going to get into the energies. So I've cleared the space, and I'm calling on divine guidance from a few decks. Now that I've had a chance to really decide the best way to make use of the tools as well as my own knowing and being. I hope you've had a wonderful time. Hope that you've been staying abreast of what is going on with humanity as well as the other species that inhabit our planet, and done something good for yourself and others since our last meet. So we're going to get started today with our animal friends as well as our angelic friends, the Black Goddess within, Queen of the Moon, and we may finish up with a tarot. We'll see. But we're going to try to stick within the 7-card pool as we have been doing. As much as I love going with the flow, I am trying to structure and keep things as balanced and harmonious as possible. Great, all that is. I thank you for this convening of energies today. When it comes to the week ahead, what is it that the collective needs to know in regards to their own path, walking their own journey, and being supported by the collective as well as the energies? What do they need to know? What do we need to know as far as best utilizing what we have to get where we need to go? Thank you for being with us. Thank you for clarity. Thank you for provision. Thank you for protection. Thank you for order from chaos. First card out of the deck, Zanahary. So we haven't met this goddess before, and even in my own practice, I haven't seen her. So her number is 29. So we'll allow her to lead the pack, followed by Insay. We'll follow their order. She's 19. When it comes to the angels, what do the angels, the angelic messengers, want us to know? And as a reminder, this deck features different flora as representations of angelic messengers. Expression with the number 19. Abundance, which has no number. Now we're going to lean on our animal kingdom friends. What do we need to know? Our benevolent earth siblings. What do we need to know for the week ahead? We have the spider, the fox, Queen of the Moon. And so far, these cards have all come up in upright position, so that's very promising. We'll probably use the chariot as a bonus card. Go ahead and move you all down. I hope you all have been earthing and loving and nourishing yourself through the seasonal changes, as autumn greets us. So we're going to take one from the Queen of the Moon. See what we are to know for the week ahead. Action with the number 15. And as a bonus, let's go ahead and get one tarot. We have the Six of Cups. All right. Keep in mind that everything is a pictorial representation of the energy. And so the beautiful thing about each of these cards is that we get to see and interpret them on our own. But again, we'll use the guidebooks to tell us some of the overall themes. So we'll start with Zanahary. Again, she's 29. And it says, Zanahary is many things to the people of the island country of Madagascar. There are many versions of this deity in various Malagasy cosmologies. You can find Zanahary represented as above, as the directions north, south, east, and west, or as a supreme deity. What an honor for you to join us. Some myths convey Zanahary as either a genderless or a two-spirit deity with both male and female aspects. In these situations, Zanahary is often referred to in her feminine aspects as sky and in her masculine aspects as earth. One energy cannot exist without the other. Balance is achieved when we make room for the both and of nature and everything in between. It truly is an honor to get this card as the leader of the deck, the leader of the week. Emerging from cosmic dust, Zanahary is all-powerful, all-seeing, and all-knowing. Since bringing herself into existence, there has been a systematic and strategic erasure of her feminine aspect. In this deck, we refuse to let her feminine sky aspect be subjugated, and we defiantly name Zanahary a goddess. If you've drawn this card, the ancestors are asking you to notice those moments where your visibility is being compromised, either by others or by your own doing. Be confident in what you create, in where your strengths lie, and in what your contributions are. You are emboldened to claim all of who you are. Invitation. Resist invisibility. Bring all of you to the table in order to achieve balance. That is wonderful. Thank you for leading us with such a wonderful invitation to be our full selves. Again, I will try my best to refrain from keeping my own personal energies out of this reading. And as far as the anecdotes, I think it is really telling. I know for myself, just as I have been reclaiming certain narratives regarding my power as a feminine, as a natural born feminine who has been learning how to master both my feminine and masculine in my embodiment. One of the things that I have been focused on is, again, staying harmonious and making sure that there's room for both of those aspects, but also honoring the reality that there are two spirit beings that are further ahead in their journey for me. So as I have been reclaiming some of the messaging around the divine feminine, encouraging the divine masculine to stand up and to do their work and things of that nature, I've started including two-spirited beings and just in my awareness as well, because again, everything is everything. And as I have been on my own journey, I reclaimed the both and remembrance a few years ago. of saying you don't have to limit yourself to just this. It can be both and what I have noticed is that when you are around people who haven't fully reclaimed their full embodiment of self, for a multitude of reasons, it can actually be intimidating to find someone who is so sure of themselves. So again, I appreciate Zanahary coming out, leading the week, saying it's okay to be who you are. Like, this is actually how you're going to achieve the balance. This is how you're going to sustain the balance, because you cannot erase that other part of you. Embody it as best as you can and really stay true to yourself. So again, I thank them for showing up in this reading. And as I said, like, when I got the deck and I began acquainting myself with it, I looked through all of the cards, but like I said, just over the weeks of working with this deck, this is the first time that they have come out in a spread. So I'm grateful. Next up, we have Intise. So let's see if you can see her. You'll notice that both of these deities are in white. So it says, deeply ensconced in the forest, you can feel Mama Intise before you see her. Her creative energy flows into her mystical body after traveling from the core of the earth. With each breath, the energy emanates from her through the trees. The goddess Intise responds strongly to adoration and adulation. It is the fuel for her resistance. In turn, she showers you with the lessons and powers required for your success. She loves to love you and loves that you love her. Her love language is ritual in any combination of chants, dance, and prayer. Intise draws on the power of the forest to wield her magic and is a great transformer who will help you see clearly and make the optimal decisions at the ideal time. And because she is mother, she is well equipped to shape your journey with discipline wrapped in love. She wants you to be free and wants to give you all the tools, not only to get there, but also to enjoy it when you arrive. It's so beautiful. Like I said, I really love this deck. If you are pulling this card, the ancestors want you to know that possess the ability to choreograph your reality. Use ritual, ceremony, and celebration to dance with your ancestors and their wisdom. Follow their steps to liberation. Invitation. Create rituals that nourish you and your community. Allow them to feed your resistance and set you free. And Intise is coming from the Mozambique region, so we thank her for mothering us, for showering us with love and discipline, and the invitation to create rituals that nourish us in our community. Again, this is as someone who has seen lots of different divination tools, as well as met a very vast array of practitioners of different types of modalities. It is very heartwarming and reaffirming to see the melanated deities show up in full force, to be represented in such a beautiful and dynamic way. And again, I don't talk about a lot of everything that I see and experience, but the reason why I talk about art, poetry, and wellness as an integration is because, again, just when I sat down and looked at my purpose and the direction for it for my life, those were the key themes where I saw the joy, the livelihood, and the conviction of the human spirit, like, really go back to the foundations of who we are as spirit beings, if you will. And so there have been lots of local performances that I have attended, where there have been rituals that have included different deities, really venerating the ancestors, but also saving space for those who have been gone, So the activism that has been a part of it, like really encouraging the participants to take a moment of solace and to really acknowledge the good and the bad of what life has unfolded as in community. And so I think it's really important that it comes up to say, dance with our ancestors, because there's been a lot of dialogue about, whether it's demonic and things of that nature. Necromancy is one thing, working with spirits is another. There's so many different ways in which, we are venerating ancestors, whether we call it that or not, outside of the dogma of religion. And so it can be very harmful to watch people who have been intentionally disconnected from their heritage, their culture, their past, their ancestors, just things that are rightfully theirs by birthright, have such a visceral disdain for what is giving us life. And when I say that, I mean, because again, the energy that emanates in the trees and the water is what keeps us alive, as well as, you know, spirits in human meat suits. And so again, the space that I'm creating through my YouTube channel really encourages people to sit with themselves and really explore at a pace with which they are comfortable. This past weekend, I shared a couple of resources regarding religious trauma, and it also includes spiritual trauma, because again, there are a lot of things that all of us learned that we have to reckon with in order for us to truly integrate a lot of the medicine that is shared, because everyone can be a teacher. And so when I began the journey of calling my power back to me, to really following where I was being led, just in mind, body, spirit, as well as in my career, a lot of the synchronicities that came up really helped to mold the space of art, poetry, and wellness for me in a very organic way. And so again, over the years, just being able to be in community with people, to support, donate, participate in mutual aid, fund initiatives, actually be on staff, giving back to the community, doing things for other people. You get to get little nuggets of remembrance of, we're in this together. Oh, that beat, that drum, that just how certain melanated people know, like it's innate in us, like how we catch and ride the beats. Some of those things is like, oh, this is like our spirit remembering. And so again, to see things like chants, dance, and prayer come up this week is just a reminder that getting back to who we are, who our ancestors were, inviting them to be with us. And again, we're still in the month of November. We're still in Scorpio season. We're still going through and ushering through the harvest of the autumn season before we get to the barren, dry, arid winter. There's still some rituals that we can do that will feed our resistance and help to set us free. So I encourage people who receive this video to figure out what that means for you and your micro community, and then also feel free to contribute to this community as well. So we thank our Black goddess within for showing up for us this week. May we always remember the beauty of being one with ourselves and those who have come before us. Moving on to our lovely counterparts in the animal spirit. We're going to start with the spider from the earth kingdom. And as you'll remember, you could probably go back to the video, the last guided read. The spider came up there too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because the spider is the creator of our prosperity. And if I'm not mistaken, we were kind of encouraged to go through the darkness of the moon to be able to come out on the other side so that we could be the creators of our prosperity through our life's work and dharma. And so it reminds us that, the spider reminds us that it is an ingenious creator. Its greatest gift is weaving the thread of dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it. So again, that theme about it's bigger than just us. It's not a singular entity. What it does helps others, right? It says, its greatest gift is weaving the thread of dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it, both financially and spiritually. It is hard work, but the spider neither tires nor becomes impatient. This card reminds us creativity is everywhere. Be process-oriented rather than results-oriented, and soon your work becomes like the weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry. Abundance follows. When in balance, appreciative, enthusiastic, and prosperous. When out of balance, discouraged, tired, forlorn. To bring into balance, playful creativity. So for this spider, and again, for the fact that we are being asked to, again, bring our full selves to our presence, right? To bring it into balance for ourselves and our community. And then we are hearing about playful creativity. It sounds like we're going to be creating something this week, right? We're going to be creating something magical, something that benefits us and our collective. So again, just that encouragement of creation, knowing that the abundance will follow. So I would love, again, if you have the time to go back and listen to past videos, I talked about my professional experience as a project manager and getting to done, right? And how, again, at the end of a project, you do this, you do a deep dive into the lessons learned, what worked, what didn't, what you can implement as like institutional knowledge for teams moving forward. And, you know, we kind of really just make sure that the team feels good about the progress that we've made, and again, institutionalize the knowledge so that other projects that are similar to that will have a blueprint, if you will, for moving forward. So similarly, when we talk about the work being the weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry, even though it's hard work, like how do you get into that creative flow so that you're building something that benefits yourself and others? It's hard work, yes, but you enjoy it enough. And when you look at the fabric of society, when you look at the hard jobs that a lot of the community members have, you can see the ways in which they show up. And once they get into the rhythm, it becomes like a dance to them, you know, because they are just flowing with it. They know it so well that they can just ease through it. It will be like, oh, they make it look so easy. And that's the power of repetition and mastery. And so the spider is obviously an ingenious creator, right? And that's the dharma of it. Their purpose is built into them. And so I likely believe that we can create our purpose as human dwellings, right? What are we doing? What are we creating that benefits ourselves and others, right? Like if there are enough of us, notice I didn't say all of us, right? But if there are enough of us of like mind to create something that benefits ourselves and those around us, we can have a nice little ecosystem that is self-sustaining, that is supportive. And that's where the dharma comes in. So being process oriented, sometimes it's not fun, sometimes it's not sexy, but we can make it so, right? So again, just the encouragement from the spider coming back up even after a week's pause between the reads is also encouraging to let's keep to what we agreed to. And so I thank the energies for keeping us on task, keeping us focused, helping us to remember that as we are going through the journey of life, as we are putting to sleep, putting to bed all the things that no longer serve us in this place, in this calling of our life stage, there are still some familiars, the spider coming in to remind us of some of the things that we can keep in our mind, in our mind's eye, as a recollection of what we're supposed to be doing. Next up, from the Earth Kingdom, we have the fox. So The one thing I love about, before I read into the card, is the one thing I love about working with this particular deck is that it forces me to challenge some of the indoctrinations that I have received, right? Because when this card first came up, just an aside, I automatically thought of the sly fox. And so again, when you think about the stories and the fairy tales that we're told as children, what helps us understand human nature, but also just the cunning nature, sneaky things of that nature, that even though this card didn't come out in the reverse, my automatic thought went to what I had been made to believe about the fox. And so luckily the animal spirit is here to re-educate me on its power, right? On its natural tendencies, which may include being sly, but we'll get a better story, right? So it says the fox is smart, it's a strong partner or mate, and a wise teacher. The fox is an enchanting creature with plenty of mystique to go around, right? Fox personalities are skillful in business and also make great teachers. They are quick to learn and adapt well to new situations. Foxes are ideal life partners as they commit to relationships for the long term, and their natural charisma keeps things exciting. Fox energy helps us stay true to those most dear to us. When this card appears, reconnect to those you love. Foxes don't do well when they slip away. When in balance, magical, ingenious teacher, monogamous. When out of balance, sneaky, unsure of their identity. To bring into balance, partnership and connection. So it sounds like partners are being called in this week. A partner or a mate. So again, doesn't have to be romantic, can be platonic, can be someone that helps to get things going, right? And it says, when this card appears, reconnect to those you love. So again, another call, because it also mentions that they're an ingenious teacher, and we heard that the spider was an ingenious creator. So we have a creation going on that involves two. That's lovely. So I'm gonna put that up here. Thank you, Fox. Thank you, Foxy, for giving us some nuggets for the week. And be sure to come back to the comments on this video after you have gone through the week. If you've seen this partner energy come up, if you've seen this creative energy come up in the community, ooh, what if when you're actually creating in the community, you find your partner? You know, there's so much magic that can happen in the span of a week. So I encourage everyone to get out there, do what you are tasked with doing so that you can create wonderful magic for us and the collective. We need as many safe, creative, magical spaces as possible for us to really continue building the type of world we actually deserve. And that's what I'll say about that. There's so much at hand, and this time is right enough for those of us who are in close enough proximity to actually meet up and do things together. Community can be digital, and I think it's been wonderful, especially for me, to be able to find so many like-minded people digitally. That is digital, but real life is real life. And luckily, I had been participating in quite a bit, enough of pop-up events and things of that nature locally to know that there is such beautiful energy that would be symbiotic for nurturing community in a safe way. So I wish the same for all of you in your physical locales, and in the meantime, we can continue to leverage social media in a way that really helps us all. So next up, we're going to go to our angelic messengers. And as you all recall, we have the number 19, it's expression. So after we have come together with our partner, and remember all these cards came up in the upright position. So if it doesn't apply, you can just leave it right here. You don't have to take everything. It says you have drawn this card of expression in order to further your personal spiritual growth and to help call your attention to those ways that you box in and limit your spirit's energy. Even if you have worked on healing past painful experiences or dysfunctional attitudes, this card is asserting that you can further or even finish this release work by paying particular attention to color and its healing energy. So as you'll notice, this card has very vibrant, like fuchsia, orange, red, orange, yellow colors. So very, very vibrant colors, right? You have drawn this powerful card of self-expression in order to further awaken your spirit's presence and to reorder and deepen your beliefs about God. The search for divine realization is your search, and your children's and grandchildren's search too. You express the magnificence of love only as you experience God's love. You and all living things are the colors of this expression of divine love. You have specific physical characteristics, and these are to honor your own uniqueness, as well as the entire divine system of life. The color of your skin, the color of your clothes, your house, your car, and your friends, all are expressions of divine love. God is woven into all life because God is life. You and God share the same bed, the same car, the same glass of water. You and God are one. Your spirit, as part of this grand divine plan, isn't bound by your physical body's boundaries. In your daily life, you are aware that a part of you is tied directly to the physical body through laughter or tears, happiness or fear. These mental expressions of your physical reality change as quickly as your clothes. Your spiritual expression, however, remains constant. It is the guiding light within. Your spirit is urging you continually to live with love and compassion beyond your desire to understand God. Merely loving your way into the realization of God. Your spiritual body is in no way limited because your mind is unable to follow into uncharted realms of energy. The next time you are tied up in knots emotionally, try to catch the fleeting impression of your spirit, and you will sense an entirely different energy. The time you feel the least like looking for spiritual insight is often the time you will be the most successful, because spiritual orientation can come through clearly during mental disorientation. The guidance through this flower image is to be aware that your inner voice can trumpet out into your life and into your world, sharing feelings that grow from an unlimited spiritual reality, truth, love, joy, kindness, compassion, and service. The varying darkness and lightness of the flower petals alerts you to the truth that your entire life is a spiritual search. Your entire life is a spiritual search. So it doesn't seem like this is ever done, you guys. Some days you will feel more directly aligned with the divine, and on other days you will feel more limited, upset, and distant from God. But the colors of God's love are always available to you. The divine presence is never far away, never distant from your problems and concerns, but the divine presence also doesn't accept problems as the excuse for denying love. The vast and all-encompassing energy of God knows that a different realization is possible for humanity. In order to see and feel God at work in your life, you need to find and use the gifts of insight and perception available to you. That was a mouthful. And it says to call, we'll do an application on this one because I've realized that over the past few weeks that we've been working with this card, I haven't been calling on the application aspect. We can share this one for this week as a call to action, a thing we can do together. The call on the energy of your spirit for the healing of yourself or others. Close your eyes and imagine that you can perceive a boundary or outline around your physical body. This outline often appears as an oval. Where the physical body is healthy, a blue-purple border is visible around the perimeter of the body. Where illness is present, the border is often broken or missing or appears to be black or dark gray. Healing involves understanding the emotions that have broken down your aura of health. In meditation, ask to understand the nature of the force that holds disease, dysfunction, or disturbance in place in your life. Ask yourself what passion may have been thwarted in your life that you desire to recognize and recapture. As you approach the accurate negative feelings or responses, the blue-purple border around your body will begin to reappear. This means healing has begun. So, I'm going to take a quick break to have a sip of tea. So it seems like, again, we're still releasing doubt, right? We're still coming into oneness of all of the power that we contain. And we're being asked to heal ourselves, which is a gift in and of itself. So again, encourage us to move at a pace that feels right for ourselves this week. And to, again, just do what is best for you at the level that you're at. As you will notice, most of these cards did not call on us to go out in the world and participate in consumerism, didn't ask us to go out and participate in any type of crazy that would create chaos. We're being asked to be one with ourselves, to really sit with ourselves, to continue to learn ourselves, to go inward, to again create systems, right? To get back to the people we love. This is a wonderful, wonderful week energy ahead, right? What we can look forward to. Now, when it comes to abundance, this is one of my favorite cards when I see it pop up because it's so vibrant. Like green is really vitality and health. And it says that creating all that you need at all levels for your life and in order to fulfill your vision for your planetary home. You have drawn this card of abundance as a means of shifting your inner and outer living into recognizable accomplishment, success, well-being, satisfaction, health, and mutual exchange with the human and natural systems that have partnered your advancement. You have a vision for your life that has grown from your heart and spirit, a vision that tells you that you are a child of the universe and are meant to grow in love, wisdom, and a cooperative attitude. You are meant to use your creativity, imagination, and abilities to the fullest extent in order to create a magnificent earth home for you, those you love, and all the human beings and creatures in your planetary family. I love this card. You live in and with abundance when you accept the power of love to heal, transform, and create. So let's just affirm that briefly. I accept the power of love to heal, transform, and create. It says love is energy, so when you invoke love for yourself, for others, and for the earth, you bring universal energy into focus for specific manifestation of tangible materials and events. Those who will be successful in creating and maintaining material advantage in the upcoming years are those to whom advantage over other things means nothing. You will be coming into opportunities for specific financial advantages that will offer you a more expansive range from which to choose. Do you reach out only with your ego, which has its own needs to be met, or are you reaching to accept abundance so that you will have extra in order to return some to the natural resources from which your wealth has come? When money, position, or other material advantages are offered, look beneath the surface of success, profit, or an important job title to see if abundance is truly present. Does the person you are doing business with, or do the circumstances from which you hope to make money, comply with the principles of universal abundance? To take only what is required in order to live reasonably upon the earth, to use all human and natural resources for the benefit of all, and to proceed in all activities with a reverence for all life. If you accept this opportunity, through which physical resources of all kinds can flow, you will be free to express your gratitude and appreciation through a greater spiritual commitment to those who are still in need. Abundance is a state of mind that leads to physical manifestation of physical resources, but more important, abundance is a state of spirit that initially awakens the mind to its creative possibilities. You are being led toward thinking, feeling, loving, and participating in life from a perspective of abundance, so that you will be ever more aware of the many forms in which abundance can nourish you. The guidance coming to you through this wild card is to accept the fluid beauty of spiritual conviction and allow it to manifest into multiple channels that will benefit you and many other living things. The verdant image on this card symbolizes your present opportunity to realize diverse levels of achievement and improvement. The color green carries the energy of healing, which means you are being guided to heal old beliefs about your relationship with success and monetary advantage. You are being asked to accept that in the future on your planet, those who successfully draw resources into manifestation will be those with a meaningful vision from which many avenues of success will flow. The universe blesses the use of resources to support all living things equally. You will find increasing success coming to you so that you are in a better position to feed the same success back to others in order to encourage and heal them. I love that. So beautiful. And then we have the application, which says, write out the ways in which you intend to use the abundance coming to you. This is many kinds of abundance in addition to financial and monetary, as you can think of. Ask your children or the children of friends to share their lists of abundance. Write to your local newspaper editors and ask them to publish an article asking people to share with you the things that they consider important kinds of abundance. What becomes obvious to you and your family when you list the many kinds of meaningful abundance that you've discovered? Perhaps you'll find that abundance flows most directly from an attitude appreciating what you already have. When you are putting your present resources to good use, the universe is more apt to offer you opportunities to do and to use more. That is so wonderful. Oh. I love a good read. Now, again, I have to tell you, this is it's the culmination of work that is being done just offline, in real life, in real time. And then also, again, me still being a part of this collective where I said, all right, been getting the nudge, create a channel, get up, just do it. Because again, I'm right here with you guys. Sometimes, even with the best of intentions, I don't know what's going to be revealed until it's revealed. And so the surprise and delight that I have of just, again, confirmation of like every step, every intention, every clear alignment, every redirection, it's all helping to progress things forward. Everything starts in the mind first. So again, just making sure that all is well so that what is made real is the exact mirror of what is inside, right? As within, so without, as above, so below. As the universe, so the soul. So next up, we're going to move on to our Queen of the Moon Oracle card where we have action, right? And this is our 7th card, right? Our 7th card is action, and I love that, again, we keep coming back to that, like that action, that community, like just keep going, like get it done. I love it. This has the number 15 on it. So we're going to see what the Waxing Gibeah 6 has to tell us. It says, the time has come to take action. Let go of your paralysis. Let go of your burdens, step by step. I am responsive and ready to take action. Sometimes we are afraid to move forward. This is natural. Change can be difficult. And if we have been hurt or have failed before, we are anxious about what may happen if we instigate change. Maybe we think it's easier and safer to just tread some water for a while instead of taking joyful action towards things we truly desire, such as the writing of a book, undertaking study, accepting a new job, or seeking a better relationship. We balk, we freeze, we do not take the step we could, and so we remain stagnant. We don't grow. This moon phase encourages us to embrace action. Action is part of our humanity. We are not made to hide and refuse to blossom. And it says companion stone, rhodonite. I think I actually have that stone, if I'm not mistaken. So again, and as you'll notice, she's like dancing in ecstasy in a cosmos, right? So whether it's dance, whether it's, again, doing that book, accepting a new job, undertaking study, seeking a better relationship, we have to grow, right? We get to blossom. So again, as we saw, the energy is all here. We have the community. We have the embodiment of the divine masculine, the divine feminine, right? We have the partner. We have the community. We have the dharma. We have the expression. We have the abundance. We have the action. We have the energies to create the life of our dreams, to create the living environment of our dreams. What we choose to put our energy in this week is totally up to us. We can have a wonderful week. We can do the actions and the things that need to be done. There's a stone that can be bought to help us in our journey, and that stone is spelled RHODONITE. If you have a local store, you can also find a spiritual store online from which to get it. As far as where I tend to buy stones, I like Etsy. You can find wonderful stone workers. Read the reviews, find what resonates best with you, but Etsy is a great marketplace to find stones. And then, okay, so last up we have our tarot, which we have our cups. Let's see what we have going on here. So the cups have to deal with the hearts in the playing card deck. So let's see. We have six of cups. Children in an old garden. Their cups filled with flowers. Divinatory meanings, a card of memories and of the past. For example, reflecting on childhood, happiness, enjoyment, but coming rather from the past, things that have vanished. Another reading reverses this, suggesting new relations, new environments, and new knowledge. So take the meaning that resonates most with you. Because it did not come out in the reverse, we won't focus on that, right? But again, divine in your own life, what this energy signifies, and again, that's kind of our bonus card. We'll take these two just to keep it even. Just line them up to let the past inform where we are now, embody the energy of who we are, show up fully. We have permission to show up fully as ourselves. We have permission to dance with our ancestors, to again just be in gratitude, be in community, to create our dharma, to be with the people we love, be with the partner we love, to express all that we are, right? To heal, right? To repair what has been damaged or broken or hurt, right? Because we have the abundance, and actually take the action to do the thing, to whether that's enjoying it, creating something new, whatever the goal or the thing is that you've been putting off that you want to accomplish, you have the energy this week to get it done. And again, just for safekeeping, the extra bonus, the tarot, and the Six of Cups, just memories, right, from childhood. Maybe this is your lucky card to help you to remember what it is that you wanted from your life from when you were a child, right? Oftentimes, at least what I have found with talking to adults, there comes a point in time where that switch turns off of our childhood and our childlike wonder, where we thought anything was possible, where we could do, be, and have whatever we wanted. And somewhere along the lines, life either cut that switch off for us, or a series of different circumstances that like beat that imagination out of us, that beat that childlike wonder out of us, that made us very rigid, made us very cut and dry of like, this can't happen, I can't imagine. But again, as I said, everything starts in the mind, right? Just like someone had the vision to create these divinatory cards, right? Someone had the vision to create this desk. Someone had the vision to create this phone on which I'm recording. These are all ideas. We have lost the imagination. We have lost the childlike play. We have lost the joy of our life, right? And we get bogged down with so many different things and themes. Oftentimes we call it adulting, that we forget that sometimes you can just go buy a coloring book and buy some markers and just enjoy coloring because that was your favorite pastime as a child. Just because of where I am in my life and my healing journey, I've been fortunate enough to fill my life with a lot of the things that I've enjoyed. So I have a weighted hula hoop, so I do incorporate that into my weekly movement, right? I paint, I write, I have published a book. I've written the outline for the second book. I write constantly. It's just a matter of what the application and use of it is. But don't forget to laugh. Don't forget to love. Don't forget to just be light, right? I've intentionally shied away, and I'm grateful that the energy hasn't really showed up in this weekly energy read. But with all the things that are going on in the world, and more specifically in the DC metro region, at this time, I'm grateful that that heavy energy has not showed up in this week, right? Because a lot of the work that I do when I'm not on camera is to mitigate that importance in my own life, even if my clients or my family or my community is adversely affected by it, right? Trying to continue to be a beacon of light, staying informed without being overwhelmed, sharing tips and tricks on in rituals on like how to just release that dense energy out of your auric field. There are a lot of modalities, including breath work, including Reiki, that are really beneficial for helping to move some of the stagnant energy and healing that is required, because the journey of being is a lifelong endeavor, right? You don't have to stay where you are. Even if you were a kid and you thought that you were going to be, you know, you thought that you were going to work in an ice cream shop, and then you wound up having to become an accountant instead, right? Like, you can still make ice cream at home, right? That could be an activity that becomes a hobby of yours, and it may or may not eventually become something that you make money from. The one thing I will say again is just use what you have, right, as your inspiration. It can inform how you show up in your community. There have been ways in which, again, I've shown up in my community. I try to do it still consistently in a way that is real and right for myself. A lot of the institutions of art and humanities are currently closed because of the federal government shutdown. A lot of the free ones, I will say. There are still some free ones around the area that are open. They may or may not be metro accessible, but I try to keep my eyes and ears on the pulse of what's going on, so that, again, I can go be a patron of them for the day or what have you. And sometimes I share that information on my social media, sometimes I don't. Either way, I try to show up in the communities that I'm a part of. Just that's kind of how I've incorporated some of those great things into my life. We still have to balance the responsibility, but again, what we are being asked to do this week is really a vibrant tapestry of life. As you will look at all of these cards, none of them are dull and black and white. They are all vibrant and bursting with life, from the sky to the trees. We have record that we are alive and well, and we are supported, right? We see the stream of the waters running behind into say, right? We see that the spider's web is a rainbow of colors, right? So such a gradient reminder that what we create doesn't have to be dull and boring. Our fox is coming in with golden, yellow, and orange energy, right? So honoring that. And again, all these cards came up in the upright. These two buddies came from the Earth Kingdom for us. So again, reminding us and grounding us in the reality that we are here. My nails are a brown color. Again, just really embodying the earth energy. We're here. We don't need to dissociate. We have the freedom of expression because that's how we were created. No one can stop that. No one can snuff our lights out, right? That's how we were created. We're abundant. Confirmation by the dogs barking. So that's the action that we need to take. Just keeping in mind that just well-rounded. Create this week. Do something. Doesn't have to be perfect or polished, but just create. Create something that you can be proud of. Create something that you can share something with others, right? And again, don't forget to tap back into the well of inspiration from your childhood, your memories, like your favorite memories. If you like cotton candy, or even going with that theme, like I used to love funnel cakes when I would go to the fairs that would come to town, right? Just what are those things? So does that mean that you get to make a funnel cake at home? Who knows? We'll see where the week takes us. But just draw on some of that fun and creativity to create something that yourself and others can benefit and enjoy from. Again, doesn't have to hit all the marks at the first time, right? If you haven't drawn in a while, expect your first thing to be a dump, right? Like give yourself time to get back in the rhythm of creating, and creating with joy in your heart, right? Gratitude in your mind, abundance in your soul, because it's here. And again, this is a wild card. So for this to come out for us this week, in addition to expression, it's beautiful. We are so divinely supported at this time, you guys. I hope that you have an amazing week. You stay focused. You stay beautiful. Just create. And like I said, drop your links down in the comments below of what you've created. Let me know what you've been up to. And I wish you well. I'll see you soon. Bye.